Welcome to our series in breaking down sun salutations, where we look at each pose in a sun salute. We break them down into important concepts and attempt to practice them together. So in this video, we're going to just do a little start warming up and building strength so that we can do 108 cycles of sun salutations together. So this will be a little sun salutation warm up and then emphasis in forward bends at the end. So I hope you enjoy it. Linked down below in the comments are all of the different classes that we've had so far on different aspects of sun salutations. So make sure to check those out if you haven't already. All right, here we go. I'm going to start out with a little bit of a strengthening exercise before we go into our sun salutations. So I come back, I lay back on my mat, have both feet on the mat, and I'm just going to lift my pelvis for count 10 counts. Come back and rest for a few breaths. Bring the right leg up. And 10. And left leg up, keep the knee very straight. And 10. And 10 more here. Okay, and last set here. And bring the knees onto your chest. Release the groin, the belly, and roll to the right and come up. I'm going to use a little blanket here, and I put that against the wall where my knees are going to go. And I'm going to bring my left leg back first. And we're going to work on the quad. So releasing the groin. So inhale, soften the eyes, the ears, the throat. Release. And then come into that release a little bit more. And if you can come up to Virasana here. And then hold on to the ankle. And come forward. So I'm not bearing any weight on this knee, so if it comes forward a little bit, be very careful, but that's okay. do the second side. So here, inhale, release the eyes, the ears, the throat. And when you release that tension, see if you can also do the same and release the tension on your hamstrings, your quads, on your groin. And every time you release a little bit of tension on the inhalation, on the exhalation, go ahead and move into that space that you created. So practice by creating space through releasing versus tension by tightening the facial muscles and other muscles that you're working on. So here, come back to Virasana if you can. And then holding on to the ankle. You can come forward. So inhale, release the eyes, the ears, and the throat. And start releasing any tension in the quad, groin, in the arms. All right. Go ahead and come out. And make sure that you have a nice, clear space to work. And you can come forward in the front of your mat and you have enough room for the arms and for the body to come down. So here we'll do 10 cycles of Sun Salutations. So we're standing in Tadasana, feet hip widths apart. Ground all 4 points of the foot into the mat, lift the arches, lift the kneecaps. So all the components that we have explored in the previous videos. So we really lift the knees, soften the belly, and then come up into Namaste, down into our forward bend, and you can do 5 counts here. Instead of 5 counts, I actually prefer 5 breaths. Really lifting, stretching the back of the leg much more, lifting the sit bones towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the left foot back first. So left foot back into our lunge. Take a breath here in the lunge. Bring that knee up. And here you are in your plank position. Down to Chaturanga, really keeping the length of the leg, the length of the body. And then come up into your upward dog. Pressing the top of the feet into the mat. And from upward dog, downward dog. And since the left leg went back first, left leg comes forward first. And then the right leg. And here to come up, remember this feeling of dragging the skin back so that when you reach this horizontal position, so here you have a little bit of an untucking going on. Here you remove that and you come up with a very strong back so that you don't hurt your back. Okay, so then now we'll do 9 more of these together. So right foot back. Okay, left foot back. Right foot back 4. So here we are at our midpoint for today. Down and left foot back. Left foot forward. And right foot back 6. Right foot forward. Left foot back 7. And right foot back 8. Left foot back 9. And last one, right foot back 10. So support the head here on the chair. And so here the focus is not to come down all the way to the ground, but really to work on the back of the leg and the length of the leg, and then getting the sit bones, stretching the sit bones up towards the ceiling, but dragging them up the wall so that this part of the leg starts gaining a lot more length. Okay, so we can even work with the block here. So lengthening the back, lengthening the sides of the spine here. The sides of the flanks of the body instead of focusing on the spine. Come up. And then I'm going to use my chair against the wall. So if you're feeling a little bit dizzy or out of breath from your Sun Salutations, take a little break. But we're going to be using the chair against the wall. And if you have a sandbag, go ahead and grab your sandbag. So if you're doing this, make sure that you're doing this pose with your eyes open, if you have the tendency of closing them during the pose. So I'm going to come up on my chair very carefully, making sure that I'm not feeling a little bit dizzy or anything like that. And then coming down into Uttanasana. And I really want to lift the sit bones here, stretch through the back of the leg, and lengthen my body so that I'm not rounding the back, just, rounding to make up for the lack of length here. So really working the leg, lifting the kneecaps, keeping those kneecaps up and engaged. And then I hold on to my weights, and if I have weights, I can use weights or sandbag, it's up to you. And then Uttanasana with a sandbag. Keeping your eyes open so that you're not swinging side to side here. So lengthening the back of the leg, keeping the feet, 4 points of the feet engaged in the chair, lifting the arches of the feet and keeping the kneecaps lifted. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and release the sandbag and safely come out of the chair. Okay. And then I want to know where my buckle is so that it's not touching any part of my skin. I'm then also going to need to adjust the buckle. So I put the belt on like this, and I sit down with my legs to the wall, and I start tightening this belt. Okay, again, making sure that this buckle doesn't stay in any part here so that you can see it, so any part of my skin. So I bend my legs here, okay, and I am essentially tied in to this Uttanasana pose. Hope that you can see that well. Okay, so I keep that belt nice and tight. So I can work here for a bit where I really work on straightening the legs. Just make sure that your belt is not directly behind the kneecaps, it's just above the knee there. So I straighten the leg, and I work here on my forward bend. And once I do that for a few breaths, I can turn around. Okay, and then I come back, making sure that you don't hit the wall with your head. You have to bring the legs into the wall and hold them down with your hands. And then tighten your belt and straighten the legs. So eventually these hips come down, further down towards the floor. So here we are. And I can hold my legs down, otherwise they come up. And push those heels into the wall and lengthen the body. Okay, I might have to come a little closer so I can keep contact with my heels on the wall. So here we go, and then straighten the legs. And inhale, exhale, straighten the legs. So really getting a nice opening in the back of the legs here. So release the back, release the belly, and it's a really great way to work on your forward bends. When you're ready to come out, go ahead and come out, or have a friend ready to unbuckle you. And there you have it. And after doing a few forward bends like this, it's always nice to rest in a nice supported back bend. So here we can just use a block. Lay down onto your mat. Place that block on its highest setting, and you can rest in Siddha Bandha for a few breaths. And you can take a few minutes and do your Shavasana. And then bend the legs, turn to the right, and come up. I hope you enjoyed this practice and that it helps you improve in your forward bends and start your journey towards 108 Sun Salutations. Thank you very much and see you on the next video.